So this person, I can call him to be the source. Okay, this is the source. Okay, he is creating some event. Okay, what is the event he's creating? Let's get ready for the battle. And these are all the listeners. Okay. Okay, so somebody is creating a source. Okay, this is the source, this is the event, and this is the listeners. So many people are listening. Okay, they are just listening. But who are these people who are listening? Only those who are, these are the soldiers. Okay, these are soldiers. When I say about these soldiers, these are people who are registered under the king. Under the king. Okay, people who are not registered or who are not the members of this kingdom cannot become soldiers. Correct. So those who have registered can listen to this source. Correct. So other people will not be listening to get ready for the battle. They will not be listening. So you can see here a source is generated. Okay, there is a source, and here some event, and the listener, they are registered. To uh, make this point very clear, they are registered. Okay, this point I am keeping on telling. So you have to know they are registered for the event. Okay, and what they do, these people, they will just not say yes sir and stand there. What they will do, they will go for the battle. Okay, when they listen to that, they will go for the battle. They will finish the battle and come. Okay, so finish the battle, and they will return. Okay, and they will return. Okay, if they die also, somebody will come and tell that they died. Okay, so somebody, they will come and return and inform the king. So that is what about the delegation event model. A source is there, an event is generated, there are many listeners listening, and if they are going to the battle, there might be many other people registered with the king. The cook will not go for the battle. Only the soldier will be going for the battle. Okay, so the listener is there, they'll be listening, and the appropriate listener will call the respective will do the respective process and come back. Okay, this is the delegation event model. So when I say about this, an event source, delegation of responsibility, an event is generator, a register event listener. So what I can say is, uh, when I say about the source in Java terms, let me say a mouse is a source. Okay, an event is a mouse clicked. Okay, a mouse can be clicked, and then a listener will be, some listener will be there. It is a mouse listener. Okay, so this is what I can say. So when I say about this in Java terms, okay, a source, okay, that is the mouse that we have as I click, that is an event. Okay, a left click. When I say about the click, there are so many clicks, right? You can say about the left click, then you can say about the right, and two clicks I can say. Okay, so left click and right click. The left should act differently, the right should act differently, correct? So the event is like that, the left and the right. Then who is actually doing it? When I press a right click, okay, something is happening. So when I click a right click, the listener will be listening. The mouse listener will be listening to my mouse, the mouse that is generated. So it will be listening, and the respective operation will take place. How will that take place? There will be a method, correct? There will be a method under this listener, okay, a method. So you'll be writing implementation for that. Okay, so let me again put it like this. So when I say about, again, the same thing I can say. As I press this registration button, okay, I clicked on this tab and something is processed and I get an output. That is what I'm trying to tell. So what happened is a source generates an event, and the event is listened by the listener. Who will listen? Only those who are registered with that particular event. When a mouse is pressed, a keyboard event listener will not listen. Correct? When a mouse is pressed, the mouse only will listen. The keyboard won't listen, the monitor won't listen, or any other listener will not listen to it. So Okay, with this in mind, we will start with the class. So here, when I write such programs, okay, when I do all these things, we are doing in a different type of a class. We are not using the same old Java program, but we are going to use a different type, which is called an applet. See here, I'm using a different terminology, which is called an applet. So applet, when I say, see here, applet is not run, the output is not got on the console. Okay. See, I will show you the output just to have a, because you will not be knowing what I'm talking about, just to have what it is. So when I say about an applet, see, just an output I'll show so that you will understand what, okay. See here, when I say about an applet, this is an applet. Okay, I'll be running in Eclipse only. So look at the applet. See, this is an applet. Okay, this is the applet window. What happens? The output is not coming on the console. Normally, where will be our output come? Here on the console. Now it is come as a separate window. Okay, so now this is what, here is where you place your text boxes, you place your radio buttons, you place your check boxes and all the other things. Okay, this is an applet. So now we will talk in detail about the applet. Okay. So when I say about the applet, applet is not there in your syllabus. Okay, applet is not there in your syllabus. To see your syllabus, applet is not there. But to put all these components, I want a container. See here, you have many chocolates. You have 100 chocolates in your hand. Can you hold all the 100 chocolates in your hand? No. You want a box to keep all the chocolates, correct? So you want some container to keep the chocolates. That is what is we are talking about an applet. When I say about an applet, it is like a container where it is going to keep all the components. What are the components? It can be a label box, it can be a text box, it can be a button, it can be a combo box, whatever. Okay, so we'll be learning about that. So when I say about an applet, see here, applet will run on a browser. Okay, applet, when I say, it will run on a browser or it will run on an applet viewer. Okay, so applet viewer is built in Java. What I can do is, see here, you would have learned, most of you would have learned about HTML. What is the use of HTML? To design web pages. But you can see in the HTML pages, everything is static. Okay, when I say about HTML, I can say it is static pages. Okay, what does it mean? You cannot do any calculation. It is not dynamic. If you click on a button, it will go to another page. It's all static pages. But when I want to have some dynamic, okay, some dynamic pages, what you have to do is, you should, dynamic means what? It keeps changing there itself. Okay, when I say about HTML, it's only static. I click on a button, it, something happens, another page opens. But say when I want to have a calculator in your HTML pages, you want to have it something dynamic. So in this dynamic, when it is dynamic, there should be some logic behind it. Okay, so to have some dynamic pages, some logic, calculation should be there. Okay, so when I say about dynamic pages, an example, I will say it to be a calculator. Okay, so I can say an example to be a calculator. So calculator can be designed, okay, it can be designed by HTML, okay, but I want to make calculation. Okay, to make calculation, what I have to do? I have to do some logical things. So that is where we have some script. We call it as a script. You can call it a script. But now I am using an applet. Okay, script can be used. But here I am using an applet. Applet is used where it will be embedded. It will be embedded in a HTML page. Okay, it is embedded in a HTML page, I can say. So where is this happening? See here, you would have all learned about HTML, at least a little in your PU. So HTML will be put it in tags, correct? See, it will be in tags. So what I can do is, I will be using tags like this. So output will come. See here, I'll be using tags like this. On my HTML page, I can put the tags. If you put it in a browser, it will work. Okay, today I'm not showing, tomorrow I'll show you. So if you put it in a browser, it will work. Okay, so here what will happen? Here it is put this is put on in a applet viewer. Now this will be viewed in an applet view. Okay. Okay, nothing to know much about it. So when I say about an applet, it is like a container. Okay, so just this knowledge you can have, because nowadays applet is not used. Okay, so when I say about the applet, it is a container. So when I say about an applet, you can see here. Here it should have an init. Okay, say when I say about the thread, what is the method you should have? It should have run method. Okay, see, one more thing you have to know here. There is one thing that we have put here is, okay, so when I say about a thread, we did, okay. So when I say about the thread, we put extends thread, correct? Now I have put extends applet. So when I put extends applet, what happens? In extends thread, we put run of method. Here what? Init method. What are we doing? What is a term that I can say? Overriding. Okay, we are overriding the init method. So what happens is that when an applet is called, when an applet is invoked here, okay, it will first call, see here, when an applet is invoked, see, this is where it is invoked. It calls the init method. So nothing so complicated, make it very simple. Applet is like a container. It will run on a browser or on an applet viewer. Okay, so it is going to make your pages dynamic. Okay, so when I go for an applet, it extends applet class. Okay, so where is this applet? It is in some package. Correct? Which package it is? It is in java.applet.stack. Clear with that? So it is in java.applet.stack. And again, we also have to have an abstract window toolkit. So when I say about the abstract window toolkit, AWT, okay. So when I say about AWT, okay, AWT is what? Abstract window toolkit. So what is that abstract window toolkit? See here, so far the output was on a console. Now, just I showed you, it is on a window. To handle the window, you should have a toolkit for handling the windows. So that is what we call it to be the abstract window toolkit. See here, the abstract window toolkit is, say, an example I will just show. See here, this is the output. Okay, as I was telling. See, this is the window. The window information is taken from the window toolkit. Okay, what is the window information? So when I say about the window information, every window should have a minimize, maximize, and an exit button. It should have a status bar. It should have a title bar. All these are characteristics of the window. You did not specify anything like that. So where did this window come from? This window came from the abstract window toolkit. Clear with that? So it came from the abstract window toolkit. So this much is enough for your applet. As of now, you can understand what is an applet. Okay. So this is a simple program. I encourage you all to write it, write and execute it once. So I'll be sending this program to you. Okay, this video or something like that. You can execute and see. So init method is that which is going to set the background. So g dot draw string that comes from graphics G. Okay, G dot dot string. This is an applet window at which position I have placed. Okay, so we will learn about it in detail. So this is about an applet. Okay, so now, okay, so I was telling about the event handling mechanism. So event handling mechanism is the delegation event model. So this terminologies look little more very, what is that, all those very high, but very simple. Delegation even model, delegating the work to somebody, that is what is delegation. What is delegating? Giving the work to somebody, that is the delegation event model. So you have to know about the same picture only. The source generates an event, send it to one or more listeners. The listener simply waits until it receives an event, and once an event is received, the listener processes the event and then returns. Okay. And an important point, listener must register with the source.